All right, good evening, Presidians. Here at Presidio, we talk a lot about financial and environmental and social sustainability, yet I've been puzzled how often we leave out the workers. So for my final capstone project, I created a curriculum for this new Center for Civic Leadership and Social Justice, showcasing how integral workers' rights are to sustainability, that we cannot have one without the other. Tonight, I'm going to share just a little bit of that program. I'm going to tell you, this is not going to be a pitch, okay? This is going to be about understanding power and connecting workers' rights and sustainability. Now, we make complicated decisions where values are in conflict, and often that means compromising either the workers or the environment, like forcing financial cuts on the backs of workers and saying it's efficient, or when we push developments because they increase jobs. So how do we build a movement where we unite in struggle for workers' rights, for racial justice and environmental sustainability, and not undermine one another? Now, in the worker rights movement, we talk a lot about power. Power is being able to decide what you want and act in an organized way to make that happen. Presidians, I'm looking at the room, we've got a lot of power. How do we choose to use it? So let's start by taking a short journey and explore power. Those fighting workers' rights hold an incredible amount of financial, political, and social power that through an infrastructure that they have built. Now we're going to zoom out and look at the major players that have an impact on our individual workplaces. Now, these organizations, these individuals, motivated by money, are also doing tremendous harm. Beginning with Fred Koch, he's an easy place to start, father of the Koch brothers. He started the family business, just an oil refinery. Now the Koch brothers, they fund much of this infrastructure that you're going to see, including Donors Trust and Donors Capital, who bankrolled an anti-worker Supreme Court case earlier this year. Now, the Bradley Foundation has used weaponized philanthropy for decades, channeling dark money at the rate of 7 times that of the Koch brothers. Money flows to the political arm, where the American Legislative Exchange Council, or ALEC, drafts model corporate bills. These bills are shopped out to state legislators at the rate of 1,000 bills each legislative cycle, and a remarkable 20% are enacted into law every year. The Americans for Prosperity, founded by the Koch brothers, and the National Right to Work Committee, has registered as a lobbyist in hundreds of anti-worker bills over the last decade. Now, they fund bill sponsors through campaign contributions. These are all connected. And this is part of who is pushing an anti-worker platform. Here's the thing, it doesn't end there. So, are they involved in the anti-sustainability movement? Donors Trust and Donors Capital contributes about 1/4 of the climate counter movement funding. Bradley Foundation opposes recycling in environmental regulations. ALEC fights the environment in numerous ways, and AFP denies the science behind climate change. Now, the Heartland Institute, they do on-the-ground anti-sustainability work. They are using their power to attack workers and to harm the planet. And they're connected. They see these as connected. So how else are they using their power to prioritize profit? From the 1960s to today, union membership at the state level went from over 40% of the total workforce to around 10%. As unions were reaching their peak, opponents pushed right-to-work laws. Now, we call them right-to-work for less. They are a way for employees to reap union benefits without paying. It's like getting access to parks, to roads without paying taxes. It's a way to break unions by attacking them financially. Now, as unions declined, there was a huge rise in inequality. During that time, wealth for the 1%, it grew to 10.4 million. compared to a negative 80,000. That's 130 times different between those two ends. Wealth for the bottom 10 percentile, they are all buried in debt. Now, it's long been a tactic of the powerful to divide and control, divide and conquer, whether it is by cause, whether it is by race. A lack of cohesion benefits those in control. Martin Luther King said, right-to-work laws are a favorite instrument of the leaders of the White Citizen Council and the Klan. Unions directly challenge racial order. They are a place where workers, regardless of race, join together in the same association. Those fighting unions were also explicitly opposed to civil rights gains, anti-segregation laws, constructing refineries for Nazi Germany. Today, they fund racist bills like Stand Your Ground, voter ID laws, and various Islamophobic groups. We can see the way they are using their power is to attack workers, is to harm the planet, and to further white supremacy. Now, they are organized and they are powerful, yet we can be too. Here's the thing, unions are complicated, they're diverse and messy, spent a lot of time with them and I get that, but they represent a vision for something different, values of shared decision-making, solidarity, faith in the common good, and the service to getting there. Unions are one of the primary forces, fighting for the middle class and progressive values, understanding that power concedes nothing without demand. Unions lift conditions for all workers. Now, mobility, it thrives where unions thrive. Children from union households have a 3% higher income. Union-dense neighborhoods, a 4.5% higher income. Union wages are 10 to 30% higher. Retirements are consistently better. This is across all industries and all professions. Mobility thrives for all where unions thrive. So Presidians, how do we use our power to build a movement for all? Realizing our strength is rooted in our connection to one another, our shared humanity, and our will for collective power. No longer working in isolation as workers' rights and racial justice and environmental sustainability leaders, we create a new way of doing things, pushing back against those trying to keep us divided. And by understanding that power, we can unite in building a more just world and truly live our values. Thank you.